Gentlemen, welcome to John Paul II High School for today's SCAC baseball doubleheader featuring the Mountaineers of Schreiner University and the University of Dallas Crusaders. Let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Mountaineers. Leading off and playing center field at number 12, Aiden Warren. Batting second and catching number 8, Gerardo Cardoza. Batting third and playing right field at number 2, Tyler Juarez. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 4, Joseph DiCarlo. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 17, Isaiah Hernandez. Batting sixth and playing second base, number 9, AJ Rodriguez. Batting seventh.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to John Paul II High School here in Plano, Texas, as the University of Dallas Crusaders will be playing host to the Mountaineers of Schreiner University. I'm Kevin McGurk, and thank you so much for joining us this cloudy, windy afternoon here in Plano. Due to the possible severe weather throughout this weekend, the Crusaders needing to get this series in because it's the last conference
Playing center field at
series
number
of the
9,
season.
Huff.
We're playing on a turf field today because
Batting second and playing third base,
of
number 8,
that necessity. So that's why we're here up in Plano today instead of back at home in Irving. But this is not the first time the Crusaders have had to do that this year. We had
Playing right field at number 5, Simon Turner.
a series back in March against Nebraska Wesleyan at
Playing shortstop,
Grace Faith High School.
Gaspar.
And so the Crusaders
Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 33.
having to be resourceful this season to make sure that they get their games in.
Batting
As
seventh,
the
playing left field at number 15,
aforementioned doubleheader today against the Mountaineers.
batting eighth,
We'll take a look at our
number
two
31,
teams.
Nate
The Mountaineers this season with an overall record of 9-26 coming into today, 4-13 in the conference, with a 2-14 record on the road, having lost their last game, which was last week against St. Thomas,
The Crusaders head coach is Eric Grafton, assisted by George
a series which they actually did pick up a win in that series against St. Thomas.
by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. Profanity, racial,
And the
sexist
Crusaders,
intimidating actions,
as they come into today with a 20-13 conference, overall record, 8-9 in the conference,
competition, and other disciplinary actions.
with an 11-6 home record. This does technically count as a home game, even though we are not actually in Irving, but still a home game for the Crusaders. Dallas having lost their last two games in a row, which were both against Trinity, both 10-0 run rule games, but the first game in that series against Trinity was UD's first win against the Tigers since 2014, winning 1-0. A combined shutout by three of UD's best pitchers on the team, Adrian Montenegro, Colin Johnson, and Dylan Kraus, combining for a 3-hit shutout. A 1-0 win for Dallas over the Trinity Tigers. In a game that really gave the Crusaders a lot of life in the tail end of this season, pursuing the SCAC tournament berth that they have not had since 2013. And well, with that win against the Tigers, it put them in a really good position this weekend to try and make it to the SCAC tournament. But they still got a lot of work to do. They've got to sweep this series and hope Texas Lutheran loses one of their two remaining games against Southwestern. So it is not an easy path to get there, but the path is there. As we get as we get set to go, here are the starting lineups for our two teams today. For Schreiner, the leadoff hitter in center field, number 12, Aiden Warren. Behind the plate catching, number 8, batting second, Gerardo Cardoza. Number 2, Tyler Juarez in right field will bat third. The cleanup hitter, number 4, Joseph DeCarlo, will play first base. Isaiah Hernandez, number 17, will bat fifth and will be the designated hitter. AJ Rodriguez will play second and bat sixth, number 9. Number 24, Daniel Garza, will bat seventh and play third base, and at shortstop, Adam Sanchez, number 13, in the 8th spot. And at the bottom of the order in the 9th spot, number 3, Seth Joseph, he'll play left field. Starting pitcher for Schreiner is Fido Mendez, number 15, as he will be pitching against the Crusaders today. Crusaders lineup, a very familiar lineup that we've seen repeated for a very good part of the season. A lot of familiar faces and a lot of familiar spots. Leading off for the Crusaders in center field, number 9, Paxton Huff. Fernando Davila at third base. Number 8, he'll bat second. The first baseman is Caleb Holman, batting third, number 10. The cleanup batter, number 5, in right field is Simon Turner. Andrew Gaspar playing shortstop again today. Number 28 will bat fifth. Caden Holman in the lineup again as the designated hitter. He'll bat sixth, number 33. David Saldana batting in the 7th spot, number 15 in left field. Nate Curtis behind the plate, batting 8th, number 31. And number 37 at the bottom of the order, Reed Morales. He'll play second base. Adrian Montenegro, the starting pitcher for the Crusaders, as the coaches are having the meeting at the plate, exchanging lineup cards. Coach Ryan Brisbane of the Mountaineers and Coach Eric Grafton of the Crusaders.
Not having any problems so far.
Conditions here at the field right now, overcast with 17-mile-an-hour winds coming out of the south-southeast. 11% chance of rain right now, which will be pretty consistent until the early afternoon when it starts getting up to the into the 30s percentage, and then in the 60s around 6 o'clock, which is why excuse me, which is why the Crusaders and the Mountaineers had to move the game up today, both games actually, from noon and 3 to 11 and 2. But right now, the weather is supposed to hold off. Nice warm 75 degrees here in Plano. And those are your game time conditions. So we will take a pause as the meeting at the plate continues. National anthem and first pitch coming up in just a few minutes. Now the Crusaders are out on the field, and Adrian Montenegro, today's Game 1 starting pitcher for Dallas. As Adrian Montenegro has had a fine year. So far, he's had 11 starts, 7-1 record, 2 complete games this season. He's gone 75 and 2/3 innings this year, allowing 59 hits, 25 runs, 21 of them earned, 10 walks, 85 strikeouts with an ERA of 2.50. And if you're wondering about some of those numbers, that 2.5 ERA is the 6th best in the SCAC this year. 85 strikeouts, number 1. And also those 7 wins are in the top 5, tied for 2nd with Joseph Shavana from Trinity. And so, here we go. Leadoff batter, Aiden Warren for Schreiner, takes a ball, 1-0. One out is in there for a strike, 1-1. Warren this year batting .412, 61 hits and 148 at-bats, 36 runs scored, 5 homers, 17 RBIs, 7 walks, and 31 strikeouts for Warren. That pitch missed, 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, high, 3-1. And that's going to miss low for a ball, so a leadoff walk for Warren. Very uncharacteristic for Montenegro. Just his 11th walk this season. And that brings up Gerardo Cardoza. In there for a strike. Cardoza this season, in 35 games played, is batting .423, 60 hits and 142 at-bats, 20 runs scored, 1 homer, 24 RBIs, 13 walks, and 8 strikeouts, as he takes that for strike 1 and 2. Cardoza and Warren, the first and second best batting averages in the SCAC, as that is hit through the right side by Cardoza for a base hit, so his SCAC best batting average will go up a little bit more. And that will bring up Tyler Juarez, batting .341 this year, 43 hits and 126 at-bats. And that's a ball, and that's going to get away, and the runners are going to move up. As I was saying about Warren, 43 hits and 126 at-bats this year, 25 runs scored, 2 homers, 24 RBIs, 20 walks, and 30 strikeouts. As he has runners in scoring position with nobody out. Fouled off at the plate. count a ball and a strike. And the 1-1 is hit to right center field. That's going to be down for a base hit. Paxton Huff cutting it off. Both runners will score. It's a base hit and 2 RBIs for Tyler Juarez. And just like that, Schreiner is up 2-0 on Dallas.
Now batting the first baseman, number 4, Joseph DiCarlo.
So that will bring up Joseph DiCarlo, batting .285 this year, 35 hits and 123 at bats, 18 runs scored, 2 homers, pitches a ball, 1-0. 2 homers, 20 RBIs, 11 walks, and 38 strikeouts. Offers a bunt, pulls it back. Pitches low, 2-0. And those 2 RBIs for Juarez are now his 25th and 26th RBIs of the season, as that one is in there for a called strike. Bunt thrown around again, and that is going to be a sacrifice as they just get DiCarlo at first base. Juarez advances to second. So with 1 out now, that will bring up Isaiah Hernandez. In 30 games this year, Hernandez is batting .269, 28 hits and 104 at-bats, 12 runs scored, 2 homers, 12 RBIs, 10 walks, and 33 strikeouts, as Montenegro looks down at Juarez on second. Misses 1-0. The 1-0. There's a strike at the knees, 1-1. And the 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2. Juarez, if anyone is wondering, has 4 stolen bases this year, caught stealing twice. He takes a relatively short lead off of second, but a bigger secondary lead, as Hernandez manages to hold his swing on that pitch outside. Count goes to 2-2. And Montenegro's 2-2 is hit to third, fielded by Davila, throws across in time for the out, and there are 2 away. Now, defensive alignment for the Crusaders in this one. Today at first base, Caleb Homan. At second base, Reed Morales. The shortstop is Andrew Gaspar. And at third base, Fernando Davila. From left field to right, Saldana, Huff, and Turner. Nate Curtis behind the plate catching, and Adrian Montenegro the starting pitcher, as he gets a foul ball on AJ Rodriguez. And that is hit to second. That should end the inning. Morales fields, throws to first in time, and that will end the top of the first. Now, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played half an inning here at excuse me, I was about to say Crusader Field, at John Paul II High School. 2-0 Schreiner as the Crusaders are coming to the plate in the bottom of the first, right after the short pause in the action. Now, Fido Mendez, the starting pitcher for Schreiner today, as he takes his final warm-up tosses. Mendez, starting his 12th game this year, he's 3-4, pitching 63 1/3 innings this year with a 5.97 ERA. 84 hits allowed, 47 runs, 42 of them earned, 14 walks and 43 strikeouts for Mendez, as he will be facing off against Paxton Huff. So it'll be Huff, Davila, and Homan coming up to lead off the bottom of the first inning. First pitch a strike, 0-1. Huff this year batting .279, 29 hits and 104 at bats as he hits that one to short. Throw over is in time for the out, and there's one away. Well, Fernando Davila to the plate now. Davila batting .242 this year, 23 hits and 95 at bats. 19 runs scored. No homers, 6 RBIs, 20 walks, and 18 strikeouts as he takes strike 1. The 0-1 is popped up to right. Juarez coming in. Juarez making the catch. And there are 2 away. Now 2 quick outs, and that will bring up Caleb Homan. Homan having a fantastic year this year, batting .373, 44 hits in 118 at-bats, 27 runs scored, 6 home runs, 33 RBIs, 21 walks, and 25 strikeouts for Caleb Homan as he takes ball 1. That's in there for strike 1-1. Defensive alignment this game for the Mountaineers. Joseph DiCarlo at first base. A.J. Rodriguez at second, as that is through the left side for a base hit into left field for Homan. And the Crusaders have their first hit of the game.
Now back, the right fielder, number 5, Simon Schreiner.
Continuing with the defensive alignment. A.J. Rodriguez at second base. The shortstop is Adam Sanchez. And Daniel Garza is at third. From left field to right, it's Joseph, Warren, and Juarez. Cardoza behind the plate catching, and Mendez, the starting pitcher, as Simon Turner takes strike one. That's fouled away, 0-2. Turner this year batting .289, 33 hits and 114 at bats. 18 runs scored, 3 home runs, 27 RBIs, 13 walks, and now 30 strikeouts as he swings and misses to end the bottom of the first inning. Well, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played an inning here at John Paul II High School. 2-0 Mountaineers with the lead as we head to the top of the second inning right after this short pause in the action. Well, to the top of the second inning we go. As the bottom of the order will be coming up for Schreiner. 7, 8, 9. Garza, Sanchez, and Joseph, as that is in there for a strike. Count 0-1. The 0-1. Misses 1-1. Daniel Garza, this year, not doing very well. Pitches a ball, 2-1. Garza with an .074 batting average this year, 2 hits and 27 at bats, 2 runs scored, no homers, an RBI, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. As he takes that one high, 3 balls and a strike. Montenegro in danger of walking the leadoff batters of both the first and second innings as he puts that one in there for a strike. And the payoff pitch is fouled away. And the payoff pitch, fouled away. And ball 4. So Montenegro walking the leadoff man in both innings, as Adam Sanchez will now come to the plate. And that one bounced in there as Curtis recovers fairly quickly. That's in there for a strike. 1-1. Sanchez batting .219 this year, 25 hits and 114 at bats. 19 runs scored, no homers, 8 RBIs, 14 walks, and 16 strikeouts. And a throw over to first. The 1-1 is bunted. Montenegro will field, throw to first, and there's one away. So sacrifice bunt going 1-3.
Now batting the left fielder, number 3, Seth Joseph.
As Seth Joseph will come to the plate. Takes a strike, 0-1. Joseph this year, batting .269, 28 hits and 104 at-bats. 20 runs scored, no homers, 16 RBIs, a walk, and 18 strikeouts. The 0-1. Inside, that came very close to actually hitting Joseph. Didn't miss him by much. Ball and a strike. Montenegro looking at second, now delivers. And that's fouled down the third baseline. 1-2. And the 1-2 is hit back to Montenegro. He fields, throws to first for the out. And there are 2 away. Advancing over to third goes Garza. As Warren will come up to the plate, walking in his first plate appearance back in the first inning. First pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1. And the 0-1. Missed outside, 1-1. Montenegro's 1-1 is grounded foul wide of third. And the count 1-2. Now Montenegro, I think, is starting to settle in a little bit, as the first inning did not go particularly well for him. A leadoff walk and then a pair of singles with a wild pitch in between that led to 2 runs, as that is popped up behind second, caught by Gaspar, and that will end the top of the second inning. So in the top of the second inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played an inning and a half here at John Paul II High School. 2-0 Schreiner with the lead, as that will bring us to an SCAC scoreboard update. Right now, I do believe that this is the only thing going on right now. Yeah, everything else at the earliest doesn't start until noon. But these are the other games going on around the SCAC today. So, down in Houston, Austin College and St. Thomas play Game 2 of their series at 1 o'clock. Trinity versus Centenary out in Shreveport, and TLU against Southwestern down in Georgetown. Of course, Schreiner and Dallas will be playing Game 2 of their series here at 2 o'clock. Final game of the Austin-St. Thomas series scheduled for 3. Second game of the day for Trinity and Centenary at 4, as well as TLU and Southwestern. In men's tennis, the SCAC tournament going on right now. That's actually being hosted at SMU, it looks like. Schreiner will play a match against Trinity and Colorado versus Southwestern. In softball, Trinity at Centenary, game 1 of a doubleheader starting at noon. TLU at St. Thomas, also starting at noon. Dallas is on the road against Schreiner at noon. And Austin on the road against Southwestern at 1 o'clock. And then Trinity Centenary, TLU St. Thomas, Dallas, and Schreiner. All of those game 2s starting at 2, as the first pitch is a strike 0-1. And then the second game of Austin and Southwestern at 3. And then for women's tennis, 0-2 to Gaspar. In women's tennis at 1 o'clock, Schreiner will be playing against Trinity. That match also being played at SMU. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Colorado will be playing Southwestern at 3. So that is your SCAC scoreboard update. Make sure you stay current for all the teams across all of the sports of the SCAC and get all of your SCAC news, score, schedules, and standings at SCACsports.com. And for all of you Crusader fans, make sure you stay up to date with the University of Dallas Crusaders, and you can get all of your University of Dallas sports information and statistics at udallasathletics.com. So in the top of the second inning, Andrew Gaspar has already struck out, and Caden Holman is behind in the count 0-2. Pitch is low. Cardoza tried to frame it, but no dice. And the 1-2 for Mendez. Called strike 3 on the corner, as Caden Holman will go back to the bench. So Mendez pitching a pretty good game right now. Has only given up 1 hit to Caleb Homan, and well, everyone gives up a hit to Caleb Homan. But other than that, he has been setting down Crusaders pretty easily. He's recorded 5 outs, pitches a strike 0-2. And of those 5 outs, 3 of them have been strikeouts. Pitching very efficiently, 15 strikes and 17 pitches, as that one is hit down the line just past the dive of Garza. And that's going to just be a single, as Joseph gets it in quickly. So David Saldana picking up a 2-out hit. As Nate Curtis will come to the plate, takes a ball 1-0. Outside 2-0. Curtis this year batting .203, 14 hits and 69 at bats, 8 runs scored, 1 homer, 6 RBIs, 13 walks, and 26 strikeouts. That is fouled off. 2-1. And the 2-1. That misses 2-2. Excuse me, 3-1. That's in there for a strike 3-2. Well, with the count now full, Saldana will be off on the pitch, as that is hit up the middle and through into center field. Saldana will hold at second, as that ball got back into the infield quickly as Warren fielded it and was able to hold Saldana to just one base. So the Crusaders trying to get a 2-out rally going here as the number 9 batter, Reed Morales, will take a ball 1-0. Morales batting .244 this year, 20 hits and 82 at-bats. 18 runs scored, a homer, 15 RBIs, 26 walks, and 24 strikeouts, as that is hit to first, fielded by DiCarlo. He'll take it himself to the bag, and that will end the bottom of the second inning. Well, the Crusaders tried to get something going in the bottom of the second, but are unable to do much with it. They have no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left in the bottom of the second inning. We've played 2 here at Crusader Field. 2-0 is our score. Schreiner with the lead as we head to the top of the third inning, as the Mountaineers will be coming up to Matt right after this short pause in the action.
Hitting off the top of the third, catcher, number 8, Gerardo Cardoza.
Well, to the top of the third inning we go, as the 2-3-4 batters will be coming up for Schreiner. First pitch is a strike from Montenegro, 0-1. Cardoza, 1 for 1 today, singled back in the first inning and scored a run. Takes the ball 1-1. The 1-1 is hit up the middle, fielded by Morales, throws to first in time for the out, and there's one away.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 2, Tyler Juarez.
First pitch is a strike to Juarez, 0-1. Juarez, who singled back in the first inning, drove in both Schreiner runs, and that is our score right now as he loops that down the left field line, as that will stay fair, and that will go all the way into the corner. Juarez going to second. He's there easily as the ball is relayed, cut off by Gaspar. And so a 1-out double for Tyler Juarez.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 4, Joseph DiCarlo.
As that will now bring up Joseph DiCarlo. DiCarlo with a sacrifice bunt back in the first inning, swinging away here. Swing and a miss, 0-1. The 0-1. That misses 1-1. One pitch is low, 2-1. A look over to second at Juarez. And the pitch. That's high and outside, 3-1. And delivers. Pitch is a strike. Count 3 balls, 2 strikes with a runner on second and 1 out. And that is fouled away. And the pitch to DiCarlo, as DiCarlo will foul it off again. The payoff pitch. Strike 3 called, down and in, as the Crusaders now have 2 away.
Now batting the DH, number 17, Isaiah Hernandez.
Now that will bring up Isaiah Hernandez, who grounded out to third back in the first inning. He takes a strike. Big lead, and there goes the runner. Throw down to third is not in time, as Juarez steals third. Pitch was a strike. The count now 0-2. And for Juarez, that is now his 5th stolen base of the season. 0-2 pitch on the way. Fouled back. Count stays at 0-2. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Hernandez, and that will end the top of the third. So in the top of the third inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 2.5 here at Crusader Field. 2-0 is our score. Schreiner with the lead. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, Crusaders coming up to bat right after the short pause in the action.
Leading off the bottom of the third, the center fielder, number 9, Paxton Huff.
Well, to the bottom of the third inning we go as the top of the batting order comes up for the Crusaders. Huff, Davila, and Caleb Homan. As Paxton Huff will take a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 is hit to second. It's bobbled by Rodriguez, but recovers in time for the out, and there's one away.
Now batting the third baseman, number 8, Fernando Davila.
Fernando Davila will step up. 0 for 1, flew out to right field his first time up. Takes the ball high, 1-0. That misses 2-0. Warren out in center field was shading over towards right center, but now is playing basically straight away as that is looped to left and caught by Joseph for the out. And there are 2 away.
Now batting the first baseman, number 10, Caleb Homan.
And so Caleb Homan will now come up to the plate. He singled through the left side his first time up, so he is 1 for 1. First pitch from Mendez is lined right at third, caught by Garza, and that will end the bottom of the third inning. So hit on a rope down the third base line, but Daniel Garza in perfect position, didn't have to do much. Gloves it for the out, and so a 1-2-3 bottom of the third for the Crusaders as we head to the top of the fourth inning. As the Mountaineers will be coming up to bat in the top of the fourth inning right after this short pause in the action. Well, to the top of the fourth inning we go, as the 6, 7, 8 batters will come up for the Mountaineers, Rodriguez, Garza, and Sanchez. AJ Rodriguez takes the ball 1-0. Rodriguez 0 for 1 today, grounded out to second his first time up, back in the first inning. Left-handed batter against the left-handed Montenegro as he takes that for ball 2. And the 2-0 is bounced up the middle. Behind second, Morales is unable to get it. Goes under his glove into center field. And we'll wait to see how that's scored. As that's going to go as an error, so an E4 on Morales. As the runner goes, throw is going to be not in time and way offline, as Andrew Gaspar actually had to catch that on the other side of second base. That throw sailing a bit on Curtis. Actually rather lucky that Gaspar was able to get there. So that's fouled away. Count a ball and a strike. Now, other than the second inning, the Mountaineers have had a runner in scoring position in every inning. Pitches a strike 1 and 2. Capitalized back in the first inning off the single by Juarez. Didn't come up with anything last inning, as Juarez actually had made it all the way to third after the double and stolen base. Pitches the ball 2 and 2. So we'll see if anything comes of this error. Pitch is popped up foul out of play. Stays 2 and 2. This is a game that the Crusaders cannot afford to lose. As I mentioned at the top of the stream, Dallas essentially needing to sweep all 3 games to have a chance at making the SCAC tournament, as that is lined right back up the middle, almost took off Montenegro's head. That is a single into center field for Garza. As Schreiner now have runners on the corners with nobody out. And this has really not been a good outing so far for Adrian Montenegro. Montenegro, who had the outing of his life last weekend against Trinity, pitching a shutout through 7 innings, end up eventually getting the win. There's a strike. 0-1. But struggling so far against the Mountaineers. As Sanchez is out the plate, he had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Throw over to first. The pitch fouled away, 0-2. Montenegro taking his time. Now he's back on the rubber. Set, and another throw over to first. And the throw is again not in time. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. There's one away. That will bring up Seth Joseph.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 3, Seth Joseph.
Joseph grounded out to the pitcher his first time up as he takes the ball 1-0. And that is hit up the middle and caught by Morales behind second. What a play. Jumping to make the catch, saving a run. As the Crusaders now have gotten their second out of the inning. And Montenegro 1 out away from wriggling his way out of trouble. But the top of the batting order is now up, and Aiden Warren, second best hitter in the conference on batting average, at the plate, but he grounds it to second. Morales takes it himself to the bag. Fielder's choice 4 unassisted. As that will end the top of the 4th inning. Well, the Mountaineers threatened in the top of the 4th. No runs on a hit, an error, and 2 left on base. We've played 3.5 here at Crusader Field. 2-0 our score still. Schreiner with the lead. So that brings us to another SCAC scoreboard update, but not really much to update right now. Nothing has still started yet. Everything that is starting at noon is on the cusp of starting, 11:52 right now, but we'll give you the games for what's going on today again. As the games that are imminently about to start, Austin College at St. Thomas for baseball. For softball, Trinity at Centenary, Texas Lutheran at St. Thomas, and UD at Schreiner. Our 1 o'clock games, starting with baseball, Trinity at Centenary, TLU at Southwestern. Women's tennis, Schreiner at Trinity for the SCAC semifinals. And then softball, 1 o'clock, Austin versus Southwestern. Our 2 o'clock starts. The second game of this doubleheader between Schreiner and Dallas. In softball, Trinity versus Centenary, game 2 of that doubleheader. Game 2 of TLU and St. Thomas as well, and game 2 of Dallas and Schreiner. And then at 3 o'clock, game 2 of Austin and Southwestern. At 3 o'clock, Austin and St. Thomas for baseball, game 2 of that doubleheader. And then at 4 o'clock, Trinity and Centenary, and TLU at Southwestern. Men's tennis, Schreiner and Trinity, semifinal number 1 at 5. Colorado and Southwestern, semifinal number 2 at 7. And Colorado and Southwestern for women's tennis, semifinal at 3. And so that is your SCAC scoreboard update. Make sure you stay up to date for all the teams across all of the sports of the SCAC and get all of your SCAC news, score schedules, and standings at scacsports.com. And you can, for all of you Crusader fans out there, you can get all of your University of Dallas sports information and statistics at udallasathletics.com as Simon Turner rips a base hit into left field to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Now that will bring up Andrew Gaspar, who struck out swinging his first time up. Fastball in on the hands as that is fouled over the visitors' dugout. Pitch is high, 1-1. The 1-1 is chopped towards short. Sanchez fields, throws to second for 1. On to first, not in time. So no double play for the Mountaineers, as that will be a fielder's choice 6-4.
Now batting, the DH, number 33, Caden Hoban.
Well, Caden Homan will now step up to the plate. 0 for 1 today, struck out looking his first time up. That one misses outside for a ball 1-0. Now, as I was mentioning earlier with the SCAC standings, Dallas still very much in the hunt for the SCAC tournament, as that is a ball 2-0. Give you the standings after this pitch. Pitch is a strike 2-1. So the two teams that Dallas have around them right now, TLU and St. Thomas. TLU 10-9 in the SCAC this year. That is skied to left. Under it, making the catch is Joseph for the out. They're 2 away. TLU 10-9 in the SCAC. St. Thomas 9-10, and Dallas 8-9. And so, as of right now, TLU controlling the board. If they win both of their remaining games, that's a ball 1-0. If they win both of their remaining games, nothing Dallas could do could get them into the tournament. Best Dallas could do is sweep and be 11-9. TLU would be 12-9. And even if St. Thomas wins both of their games, they would be 11-10. So right now, the only team Dallas really has to concern themselves with is TLU, as that is fouled out of play. And so they are hoping that Southwestern can deliver them another loss, as the Pirates beat the Bulldogs yesterday. Actually, I think they played Thursday. They won that game 4-3. And so in one of the two games today, Dallas need the Pirates to win another one. But again, they also need to sweep the Mountaineers. Now, that does also mean that the Crusaders, in theory, could get away with losing at least one game against Schreiner. Less than ideal, but a possibility. As that is going to be an out. David Saldana saying that it hit him, but the Mountaineers say that it hit off of the bat, probably the skinny part of the bat, and the ball was fielded by Mendez, who threw it over to DiCarlo for first for the out. So a very unusual end to the inning. Well, that ends the bottom of the fourth, as the Crusaders in the bottom of the fourth, no runs, a hit, no errors, and one left on base. We have played 4 here at John Paul II High School. 2-0 is our score. Schreiner with the lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning right after this short pause in the action. Now, top of the 5th inning we go, as the 2-3-4 batters come up for the Mountaineers. That is hit up the middle. Gaspar off of his glove, and that will be an error. As Cardoza gets on the E6. And so another leadoff man on base off of an error for Schreiner. The Crusaders not doing themselves any favors defensively today, as that is popped up on the bunt, and the play almost made by Curtis. Hit off of the heel of the catcher's mitt. And the Crusaders missing an opportunity there to get a quick out, as Tyler Juarez, if he tried bunting once, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried doing it again. No, he's swinging away. Swings through 0-2. Not surprised that he's swinging away. He has 2 hits in the game, a single and a double. The only 2 runs driven in for the Mountaineers in the game, as that is hit to the right side and stopped by Morales, but there'll be no play as no one was covering first. Homan also went towards the hole to try and field the ball, but it got by him, and Morales with the diving stop probably saved a base. I think Cardoza probably could have gone to third. But the Mountaineers, after an error and a soft but well-placed hit, now have 2 men on with no outs again. And Adrian Montenegro has not been his sharpest today. Mountaineers haven't been smacking the ball around on him, but he's been in trouble in every inning. Couple of times it's been because of errors, but a couple of times it's been because of walks as well. And Montenegro, who had through 75 innings this year, had 10 walks. In 4+ innings so far, has 2. He's also having to throw a lot of pitches today. He's already over 80 pitches. That pitch is a strike 0-1. 80 pitches, 53 of them strikes so far. As that is in the dirt for a ball, 1-1. Now Joseph DiCarlo at the plate, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but he already has a sacrifice bunt in the game, trying to make it 2 as he's squared around twice. He'll do it again as that is bunted towards third, fielded by Davila. He'll only have 1 play, hesitates, and safe at first is DiCarlo. Oh boy, I don't know if Holman hadn't gotten to the bag yet or if what happened, but Fernando Davila had the ball fielded cleanly and had plenty of time, and then just didn't throw the ball. And so that goes as a bunt single, as that is grounded to short. Gaspar throws to first. A run will score. It's an RBI for Hernandez on the ground out, and the Mountaineers now have a 6-3 lead. This is, so far, it's been minimal damage, only 1 run, but this is turning into a pretty terrible inning for Dallas. Right now, the question is, can Montenegro keep the damage to a minimum? The count is no balls and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on second and third, and 1 out. And that is hit to short, off of Gaspar's glove into left field. 1 run scores, 2 runs will score. It's a base hit and 2 RBIs for A.J. Rodriguez, and the Mountaineers now have a 5-0 lead.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 24, Diego Garza.
And so many things going against Dallas right now. First, the error that let Cardoza get on. Then, while it would have required a great play by Curtis, the missed opportunity of getting the out on the bunt, on the fouled bunt during Juarez's at bat, that then led to that infield single that Morales had to make a play to keep it in the infield. Then DeCarlo with the bunt single that Davila, for some reason, did not throw to first. Then Dallas finally getting out after Hernandez had the RBI ground out, but then Rodriguez, after Andrew Gaspar was not able to come up with the ball, diving to make the stop, caromed off of his glove into left field and allowed 2 runs to score. And I don't know if Montenegro is buying time for the bullpen, but he's thrown about 3 or 4 in a row over to first. I think he's a bit shaken up right now with how this inning has just unwound. And this was definitely not the start that the Crusaders were hoping to get out of Adrian Montenegro. A chance for getting to the SCAC tournament on the line. Really needing to sweep this series, and Dallas down by 5 halfway through. And that pitch finally comes home, and it's a ball. 1-0. Hit to right, Turner racing, and he'll not get there, it'll drop. That'll be a base hit. As Turner might have been thrown off because of the wind. The wind right now blowing from right field to left.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 13, Adam Sanchez.
And so that ball did land in front of him. He might have thought that was going to carry a little bit more, but the wind might have brought it back towards the infield. And so what should have been a fairly routine fly ball out turns into a single, and runners on first and second, as that's in the dirt. Throw to third, and advancing to third goes Rodriguez. And the wheels are just falling off this inning. 3 runs already have scored. Another mistake allowed 2 more runners to advance to scoring position, as the infield now plays up. 1 ball, 1 strike the count with an out, as that is fouled away, 1-2. And the 1-2. Low in the dirt again. Count 2-2. And the 2-2. Misses inside, nearly hitting Sanchez for a full count. And as crazy as it sounds, a walk here might not necessarily be the world's worst thing. There is a free base right now that is fouled away. It would put a force at any base. So the double play would be in effect anywhere. And Seth Joseph, the number 9 batter, is on deck. So that's going to be ball 4. And Coach Grafton coming out, looking down towards the bullpen. Finally he signals, and that will be it for Adrian Montenegro. A very disappointing outing for him. And so number 34, Landon Phillips, in to relieve Montenegro. Well, a very tall order being asked of Landon Phillips. Inheriting a bases loaded 1-out situation. Landon Phillips in the game now this year. 10 appearances, all but one of them have been in relief. 1-1 record in pitching 14 1/3 innings. 18 hits allowed, 12 runs scored, 6 of them earned, 6 walks and 11 strikeouts with a 3.77 ERA. Well, Seth Joseph digging in against Landon Phillips. Joseph 0 for 2 today. Rodriguez on third, Garza on second, Sanchez on first. And that is fouled off. No balls and a strike. The 0-1. Misses 1-1. The 1-1 from Phillips. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Look over to second. And now delivers way outside, 2-2. And that is hit weakly towards first. Homan flips to first and flips it to no one, as that's going to be a base hit and an error. 2 runs will score, as the Mountaineers now take a 7-0 lead. And a bad situation gets worse, as Homan, fielding the ball a little bit away from first base up the line, I thought had a chance for a second there to actually tag out Joseph. But Joseph managing to get around Homan just quickly enough that being tagged out wasn't an option. And so Homan tried to flip it to Phillips, who was racing over to cover. But just, I don't think he was expecting, I think he was expecting Homan to hold the ball, because it looked like he was just caught completely off guard, as that is going to be bunted foul. And so the resulting play, an infield single, and then an error by Homan. And the Crusaders have dug themselves into a pretty big hole. 7-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. As that is hit to center, this should be an out, as Huff is under it for the catch. Runners will stay put, as there are now 2 away.
Batting, the catcher, number 8, Gerardo Cardoza.
Well, that now brings up Cardoza, who takes a breaking ball inside, 1-0. Cardoza, 1 for 3 today, 2 runs scored, as he takes that for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 is going to be hit through the left side into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Coming around and scoring is Adam Sanchez from second. So a base hit and an RBI for Cardoza, as the Mountaineers now take an 8-0 lead.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 2, Tyler Juarez.
As Tyler Juarez, who is 3 for 3 today, a run scored, a double, and 2 RBIs, takes a ball inside, 1-0. The 1-0. Outside, 2-0. And the 2-0 is fouled away 2-1. The 2-1 from Phillips is inside, just missed hitting him. 3 balls and a strike. And the 3-1 is hit in the air to left, ranging all over. Saldana in left field makes the catch to finally end the inning. But a lot of damage has been done by the Mountaineers. 6 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base. We've played 4.5 here at John Paul II High School. 8-0 is our score. Schreiner with the lead. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, Crusaders coming up to bat right after this short pause in the action.
Bottom of the 6th, catcher, number 31, Nate Curtis.
Now to the bottom of the 5th inning we go. Dallas sending up the 8-9-1 batters, Curtis, Morales, and Huff. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. And the 1-1 is fouled away, 1-2. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Curtis, and there's one away.
Pinch hitting for the Crusaders, number 2, Mike Anderson.
A pinch hitter for Reed Morales. As UD senior Mike Anderson comes into bat. This year just 12 at bats, 3 hits. 1 run scored, 4 RBIs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. As he takes ball 1. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. And that's up and away, 2-1. called strike on the outside corner, 2-2. And that misses 3-2. The payoff pitch is going to be called strike 3. Anderson thought he had a walk there for a second, but no, just a slow motion called strike 3. Definitely have to pay attention in this game because this umpire has done that a couple of times. Has been very slow to call strike 3 on a couple of pitches that, at least from our angle, could have gone either way. But this time it goes against Anderson, as Paxton Huff is at the plate. 1-1 the count. And that is bounce up the middle, and that will make it into center field for a hit for Huff, who is now 1 for 3. Well, if the Crusaders are going to have a comeback bid in this game, they've got to start somewhere. 2-out base hit by Huff at the top of the order. Brings up Fernando Davila, who is 0 for 2 today. Pitches a strike, 0-1. See if Paxton Huff steals at some point. SCAC leader in stolen bases. And that's going to be a ball. The 1-1 is popped up, going out of play, and that will make it out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch from Mendez, and that somehow didn't hit him. I thought that pitch was coming all the way inside. I thought that was going to hit Davila, but somehow it does not. And now it's a full count. So Huff will be going. And the payoff pitch is fouled off at the plate, as Davila manages to stay alive. And another 3-2. Ball 4.
Now batting the first baseman, number 10, Caleb Holman.
So Caleb Holman up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. If there's someone who could jumpstart a rally for the Crusaders, it's definitely Caleb Holman. One of the best hitters in the SCAC this year, that's fouled away 0-1. Believe in either the top 5 or top 10 in pretty much everything. Check swing, fouled off into the net. Count 0-2. And the 0-2. That misses for a ball, 1-2. And the 1-2 is hit in the air to left. This should end the inning. Joseph is back, reaches up, makes the catch for the out. And that will end the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. We have played 5 full innings here at John Paul II High School. 8-0 is our score. Schreiner with the lead as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Mountaineers coming to bat right after this short pause in the action. So to the top of the 6th inning we go, and a lot of defensive changes for the Crusaders. As we'll get you what those changes are in just a minute.
Leading off the top of the 6th, the first baseman, number 4, Joseph DiCarlo.
As the middle of the batting order will be coming up for the Mountaineers, the 4, 5, 6 batters, DiCarlo, Hernandez, and Rodriguez.
Yeah. Had Gill coming up next after Caleb.
The pitch is ripped foul down the third base line. And the pitch way outside for a ball. So a ball and 2 strikes, as that is hit to third and through into left field for a base hit. So a base hit for DiCarlo. And that will bring up Isaiah Hernandez. 0 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout today. He has a man on first and no one out. Pitch is a ball, 1-0. Popped up in the infield. Michael Anderson drifting over into foul territory to make the catch. And there's one away. So that will bring up AJ Rodriguez, who's 1 for 3 with 2 runs batted in.
Number 9, AJ Rodriguez.
Also a run scored today for Rodriguez. First pitch fouled away. So the defensive changes for the Crusaders. So Walker Alsobrooks now in center field for Paxton Huff. Luke Gill in right field for Simon Turner. Michael Anderson, who came in to pinch hit for Reed Morales, stays in to play second. And Ryan Chafin in to play shortstop for Andrew Gaspar. The 1-1. Fouled away 1 and 2. So a new middle infield and new center and right fielders. Saldana still out in left, as that is hit to first. It's going to be off of Holman's glove, and everyone's going to be safe. Saldana still in left field, Davila still at third, Holman still at first, and Nate Curtis still behind the plate.
Now batting the third baseman, number 24, Daniel Garza.
Pitch is a ball, 1-0. So that last play in E3. Rodriguez reaching on Homan's error. DeCarlo down to second. The 1-0 is a strike 1-1. Look down to second base, and that's going to be in the other batter's box for a ball 2-1. And the 2-1 is hit hard but fouled on the left field line. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is lined down the left field line. That's going to stay fair, and that will go all the way into the corner. One runner will score. Here comes Rodriguez. The relay is going to be overthrown, and advancing to third now goes Garza. So 2 RBIs and a double for Garza as he advances to third on the relay error, as the Mountaineers now take a 10-0 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. So Coach Grafton going out to talk to Phillips. As unlike Crusader Field, where the home bullpen is clearly visible out in right center, here the bullpen for the home team is right behind the first base dugout, which from our view up here in the press box is obstructed. So I think there maybe could be someone warming up. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see a ball being thrown back and forth in there. And that's about all. That's all I'd be able to tell. Just if there was a ball being thrown back and forth, because we see enough of the bullpen to be able to see that, but other than that, wherever the pitcher and the catcher would be is completely obstructed. So, if there is someone being warmed up, they're not coming in right now. And we're going to have a rundown as Davila has Garza hung up, as he is going to be tagged out by Chafin. And that's a fielder's choice. 5-2-6. As very unwise base running there by Daniel Garza.
Now batting, the left fielder.
He was,
Joseph.
I think, either trying to draw Davila's attention away long enough so that Sanchez might have a chance to reach it to first, or he was waiting for a throw and was going to take off to try to score for home, as that's going to be a bunt single for Joseph. But in the end, it ends up being a rundown and an out in a play that I do appreciate aggressive base running, but that was just reckless. Up 10-0 in the 6th inning. There's no reason to try and wait for a throw to first and try and score on a play like that, if that's what he was going for. So time called on the field by the first base umpire. Not really sure why. So that is going to be hit up the middle, fielded by Chafin, flips to second for the out, fielder's choice 6-4, and that will end the top of the 6th inning. Well, for the Mountaineers in the top of the 6th inning, two runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base. We've played 5.5 here at Crusader Field. At John Paul II High School. 10-0 is our score, as we head to an SCAC scoreboard update. We should actually have some scores to finally report now. So, top of the 3rd inning down in Houston, St. Thomas ahead of Austin College, 5-0. It looks like it is still the top of the 1st inning in both Shreveport and Georgetown. I guess those games haven't actually started yet, I would assume. Maybe the weather is holding up those games as well. In softball, in Shreveport, Centenary behind to Trinity 1-0. Top of the 3rd, St. Thomas ahead of TLU 3-2. And Dallas in the bottom of the 2nd ahead of Schreiner 6-3. So that is your SCAC scoreboard update. Make sure you stay current for all the teams across all the sports of the SCAC and get all of your news, scores, schedules, and standings at scacsports.com. And for you Crusader fans, you can get all of your University of Dallas sports information and statistics at udallasathletics.com. As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, Dallas down 10-0 right now. As Fido Mendez pitching very well and very efficiently, averaging just about 15 pitches per inning, through 5, a shutout 5 strikeouts and a walk. And that is bounced foul. Count 0-2. Now Luke Gill at the plate for the Crusaders. This year batting 143 as he pops that up. Behind short. Out and making the catch is the shortstop Sanchez for the out. And there's one away.
Now batting the shortstop, number 36, Ryan Chaffin.
Ryan Chaffin will come up to the plate now. Chaffin just 1 at bat this year, 0 for 1. And that at bat was a strikeout. Oh, excuse me, no, it wasn't a strikeout. 0 for 1 with an RBI. So no balls and a strike. The pitch. Strike 0-2. That is lined right at the second baseman, having to go to the ground to make the play, but he makes the catch. As that ball now bring up Caden Homan.
Pitch hitting for the Crusaders, number 7, Sean Henning.
And a pinch hitter for Homan. As it's Sean Hannigan.
I'm assuming he's going to be subbed in, but this is the first time we've seen him because he was
Hannigan playing in just 2 games this year. 1 at bat, no hits. Takes the ball. Count 2-0. There's a strike, 2-1. And the 2-1 is grounded to short. Fielded there by Sanchez. Throws across in time for the out. And that will end the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. As we've played 6 here at John Paul II. 10-0 is our score as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Schreiner coming up to bat right after this short pause in the action.
Now pitching for the Crusaders, number 24, George Fleming. Leading off the top of the 7th, catcher, number 8, Gerardo Cardozo.
Well, to the top of the 7th inning we go, as the Mountaineers will be sending up the 2-3-4 batters, Cardoza, Juarez, and DiCarlo. And a new pitcher in for the Crusaders is George Clahane, in relief of Landon Phillips. That is lined deep to left, but right at David Saldana for the out, and there's one away.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 2, Tyler Juarez.
Well, that will bring up Tyler Juarez, who is 3 for 4 today, a run scored, a double, and 2 RBIs. Pitch is a ball outside 1-0. The 1-0. That misses 2-0. I forgot to give you the final line for Montenegro earlier. His final line, 4 in the 3rd innings, 8 hits, 8 runs, 5 of them earned, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts, and right now he's on the hook for the loss. Pitches a ball 3-0. And the final line for Landon Phillips, he went an inning and 2/3 in relief, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, no walks and no strikeouts. And there's a strike, 3-1. The numbers for Clahane this season, as this is the 4th appearance he's made this year, 0-1 record, 2 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts, as he is still going to be pitching this at-bat to Cardoza. Excuse me, Juarez. Not entirely sure what that was about. Juarez looked like he thought he walked. Threw his bat towards the dugout. I guess it was not ball 4. That's definitely ball 4. Well, with Juarez on, here comes DiCarlo, who is 2 for 3 today, 2 runs scored with a strikeout. Pitches in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. Pitches the ball 1-1. Fouled off at the plate, 1-2. Clahane deals 1-2. Fouled off. Hitting DiCarlo in the ankle. It's a good thing he's got an ankle guard there. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And there are 2 away. as that will now bring up Isaiah Hernandez. Hernandez 0 for 4 today, but he does have an RBI. He's also struck out once. And he has a runner on first with 2 outs. Pitch is a strike, 0-1. Throw over is not in time. The 0-1 is hit to short. Fielded there by Chaffin. Throws across. Strong throw and plenty of time to Homan. And that will end the top of the 7th. In the top of the 7th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. As we've played 6.5 here at John Paul II. Crusaders coming up to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning, right after this short pause in the action.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th, the left fielder, number 15, David Saldana.
Now to the bottom of the 7th inning we go, as the Crusaders will be sending up the 7, 8, 9 batters, bottom of the order. David Saldana, Nate Curtis, and Michael Anderson. Saldana today 1 for 2, as that is hit off the skinny part of the bat towards first base, and it's gonna be an infield hit for Saldana. As Mendez, racing for it, overran the ball.
Number 31, Nate Curtis.
And so the Crusaders have the leadoff man on. Nate Curtis, also 1 for 2, but with a strikeout today, is up at the plate as he lines that one to right. That's going to get down for a base hit. So back-to-back hits for Dallas, as that will now bring up Michael Anderson.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 2, Mike Anderson.
Anderson, pinch hit back in the 5th inning, struck out looking. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Now looking down at the Mountaineers bullpen, which we actually have a pretty good view of from here. Pitch is a ball, 2-0. It looks like just now someone is starting to get loose. Fido Mendez in his 7th inning of work, as that is lined through the left side into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Only 1 base for the base runners. Curtis going to second and Saldana going to third.
Number 29, Walker, also
So Dallas now with the bases loaded here. In the bottom of the bottom of the 7th inning. And Walker also Brooks is up at the plate. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Also Brooks batting .196 this year, 10 hits in 51 at bats. 13 runs scored, no homers, 7 RBIs, 10 walks, and 15 strikeouts. And that's a ball, 1-1. Time called at the plate. The 1-1. That's a strike, 1-2. And the 1-2. Fouled away. And the 1-2 for Mendez is low, 2-2. The 2-2. High and inside, 3-2. So Mendez in danger of walking in a run, as the count is full to Walker also Brooks. Sun starting to peek out here at John Paul II. And ball 4. So Dallas finally getting their first run of the game on the RBI walk by Walker also Brooks. And that will trigger a coaching visit. Now, looking down at the Schreiner bullpen, it looks like it's number 48, Alexander Kowalczyk, warming up. But he only just started throwing a minute or so ago, so I don't think he's close to being ready to relieve Mendez. Mendez, I think, at the very least, is going to have to face Davila. And depending on how quickly that at-bat goes, if Davila makes him work for it, he may or may not have to face Homan as well. But Dallas finally on the scoreboard, down 10-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bases loaded, no outs. Davila lines that one to left field. That is down for a base hit. 1 run scores, and that's all that will score. A single and an RBI for Fernando Davila as the Crusaders narrow the gap to 10-2. Well, it looks like we will have a pitching change as Caleb Homan is the next batter. Now, as we go back to taking a look in at the SCAC playoff hopefuls, the SCAC regular season standings. TLU in the driver's seat with a 10-9 record this year. St. Thomas at 9-10, Dallas at 8-9. TLU playing Southwestern, 2 more games today. St. Thomas 2 games against Austin today. And then the 3 games against Dallas, or 3 games that Dallas have here against Schreiner. And again, in theory, Dallas can get away with losing 1 game to Schreiner. Now, that would require for them to still make it into the SCAC tournament. They would need Southwestern to beat TLU in both games today, and they would need Austin to beat St. Thomas at least once today. So, a lot of extra hoops that need to be jumped through for Dallas to end their 11-year SCAC tournament drought. But it is still possible even with 1 loss against Schreiner. Now, 2 losses and it's just over, or a win by TLU, and that would basically mean Dallas would then have to sweep, which at the current moment seems unlikely, down 10-2, but Dallas does have a 9-0 comeback in one of their games from earlier this year. Pitch is a ball, 1-0. That game was all the way back on March 2nd against Randall, a game they were down 9-0 after 4 innings. That is lined fair down the left field line, as it will go all the way to the left field corner. 2 runs will score. It's a double and 2 RBIs for Caleb Homan, as the Crusaders are now down 10-4. But the Crusaders not giving up quite yet. As I said, they already have 1 big comeback this year that came back at the beginning of March. They were down by 9 in that game. They're down 10 in this one, but also considerably less time to go. They started that comeback against Randall in the 5th inning. Here, it's already the 7th. They had brought it down to like a 2 or 3 run game by the time the 7th inning rolled around against Randall, and that hit him.
Now batting shortstop, number 36, Ryan Chaffin.
Well, Chaffin, who is 0 for 1, will come up to the plate. Bases loaded with nobody out. Pitch is a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 is grounded weakly towards short. Throw to second for 1, on to first is not in time. So a fielder's choice and an RBI for Chaffin, as it's now 10-5.
Now batting the DH, number 7, Sean Hennigan.
So not the ideal outcome of the play for Dallas, but they at least still pick up a run, which they desperately need right now. Pitch is a strike, 0-1. And at the very least, it wasn't a double play, which I think really would have killed any and all momentum the Crusaders have been building this inning. Pitch is a strike, 0-2. As Hannigan is at the plate, he is 0 for 1 today. Low, a ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2. Check swing. Appeal. He did not go. As the UD bench is now starting to get pretty loud. They've been pretty quiet up until now. I haven't had a whole lot to cheer about up until now, as that's fouled away. Now this is something that the Crusaders have done several times this year. Swing and a miss, strike 3. They have fought back in games that they were on the cusp of losing, and sometimes they managed to come back and win, sometimes they didn't. But that has been a characteristic of this team, that they have fought all the way to the end. Pretty much all season. And so they're hoping to still produce some magic and pick up an improbable Game 1 win against Schreiner. A win that would go a very long way into getting them an SCAC tournament spot. As there goes the runner, as that is going to be hit into center field. That's down for a base hit. A run will score. Chaffin will go to third. It's a base hit and an RBI for David Saldana, as the Crusaders now narrow it to 10-6. Well, as improbable as it would have been to say at the beginning of this inning, the Crusaders now have the tying run on deck. Nate Curtis is the batter. Runners on first and third with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The on-deck batter is Michael Anderson. He represents the tying run. Dallas needing just one more base runner to threaten to tie the game at the plate. And Kowalczyk is relieved. Luke Rogers will be coming in for Kowalczyk. As we'll give you the final line for Fido Mendez, who pitched great through 6 innings, but the wheels started to come off here in the 7th. And so his final line now, 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. He still can win the game. Cannot lose it. But Alexander Kowalczyk, unable to squash this Crusader rally, as the Crusaders have struck for 6 in this inning. So Nate Curtis digging in. Ryan Chaffin at third, David Saldana at first. Rogers the pitcher, Curtis the batter. Pitch, swing, and foul tipped. 0-1. The 0-1 is hit deep to right. Going back as Waz, looking up, and it's going to be a one-hopper off of the wall. 1 run will score. Going to third is Saldana. Into second with a double is Curtis. An RBI double for Nate Curtis, as the Crusaders now narrow it to 10-7. And this is a situation where Schreiner really got lucky that the wind is blowing so hard from right to left. Because I think if there was no wind, that's probably a 3-run homer. But the wind is just whipping in so hard from right field that it just ends up being a one-hopper off of the wall. And so now, Dallas actually does have the tying run at the plate, Michael Anderson, who swings and misses 0-2. Anderson 1 for 2 with a strikeout today. Behind in the count. And the 0-2 is looped to left. Joseph is under it. He makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But Dallas, in the bottom of the 7th, gets 7 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We've played 7 here at John Paul II High School. 10-7 is our score as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Schreiner coming up to bat right after this short pause in the action. Well, to the top of the 8th inning we go, as Schreiner will be sending up the 6, 7, 8 batters, Rodriguez, Garza, and Sanchez. A.J. Rodriguez today, 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. And takes a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 is hit towards the left side, fielded by Davila, throws in time for the out, and there's 1 away.
Now batting the third base, number 20.
Daniel Garza now up to the plate. He's 3 for 3 today. A run scored, 2 RBIs, and a double, along with a walk. Pitch is a strike, 0-1. Now the final line for Alexander Kowalczyk. He went 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, a run, earned, a walk and a strikeout. Excuse me, no walks and a strikeout. As that is inside 1-1. The 1-1 misses 2-1. Two-one pitch, breaking ball that misses inside, 3-1. And that's going to be hit in the air to center. Racing in is Walker also Brooks. Going out and making the catch is Michael Anderson. And there's one away, or two away.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 13, Adam Sanchez.
Well, with 2 outs now, here comes Adam Sanchez. 0 for 2 today with a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. And he takes the ball 1-0. That's going to be a ball 2-0. And the 2-0. Inside 3-0. Clahane's 3-0. He puts one in there for a strike, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch is a strike, 3-2. Yeah, Sanchez thought he had ball 4 there for a second, but he'll have to stand in and face at least one more. The 3-2 is hit up the middle and through into center field, a base hit. So Sanchez picks up his first hit of the day, as that will now bring up Seth Joseph. Joseph, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Pitch is a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 is hit to third. Backhand by Davila. Long throw across is in time for the out. And that will end the top of the 8th inning. Well, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played 7.5 here at John Paul II. 10-7, Schreiner with the lead is our score. That will bring us to an SCAC scoreboard update. So, down in Houston, St. Thomas up 11-0 on Austin College. Bottom of the first in Shreveport, Trinity up 3-0 on Centenary. And TLU up 1-0 on Southwestern in the bottom of the second. Over to softball, bottom of the 5th inning, Trinity up 3-2 on Centenary. Tied 3-3 TLU and St. Thomas down in Houston. Dallas up 10-6 on Schreiner in Shreveport. And Southwestern up 1-0 in the top of the second against Austin College in Georgetown. And that is your SCAC scoreboard update. Remember to stay current for all the teams across all the sports of the SCAC and get all of your SCAC news, score schedules, and standings at scacsports.com. And for you Crusader fans, you can get all of your University of Dallas sports information and statistics at udallasathletics.com. Now, for a very long time, it didn't look this way, but we have a close game on our hands, 10-7. Dallas, who couldn't get anything going for the first 6 innings, exploded for 7 runs last inning, and have put themselves within reach of actually pulling off a comeback and winning a very needed game here to try to keep their SCAC playoff hopes alive. TLU, as I mentioned, is up 1-0 on Southwestern right now. Now, it is only the 2nd inning, so a very long way to go, but we are definitely scoreboard watching that game particularly. And the umpires having a meeting down on the field, as we are now ready to go. Walker also Brooks to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. He pinch hit for, actually he came in as a defensive replacement for Paxton Huff back in the 6th, I believe, as that pitch is a strike, 0-1. Also Brooks with a walk, a run scored, and an RBI in his one and only plate appearance of the game. Pitches the ball 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Now Dallas 6 outs to score at least 3 runs. And here in the bottom of the 8th, they get to try for their first go with the top of the batting order. But Walker also Brooks behind in the count 1-2. And that is grounded weakly, foul. And the 1-2. Low 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is hit in the air to left. Should be playable for Joseph. Under it. Makes the catch for the out. And there's one away.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 8, Fernando Davila.
Well, that will now bring up Fernando Davila. One for 3 today with a run scored, an RBI, and a walk. As that is called ball 1. The 1-0. Strike 1-1. And the 1-0 is popped up foul behind the plate. This, I think, is going to make it out of play, and it does, as fans are fleeing for their lives from that one. Count 1-2. And the 1-2. Misses 2-2. Definitely you can tell the difference between a Major League game and a little old Division III game is that no one in the fans section has a glove with them. 3-2 the count. And strike 3 called. Davila will go back to the dugout.
Now batting the first baseman, number 10, Caleb Homan.
Well, that will bring up Caleb Homan with 2 outs and nobody on. Homan, who has knocked 6 out of the park this year. Top 10 in the SCAC in home runs. Pitches a ball 1-0. Pitches a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And the 1-2 to Homan is hit to the left side and through into left field as Caleb Homan with a 2-out single.
Now batting the right fielder, number 17, Luke Gill.
Well, that will now bring up Luke Gill, who is 0 for 1 today. So Gill with a runner on first and 2 outs as he will hit that up the middle through into center field. And so with that hit, Dallas once again bring up the tying run to the plate, represented in Ryan Chaffin. Crusaders not going away quietly into the night, as they are, well, first of all because it's the afternoon, but also because they're still fighting for that SCAC tournament spot. And so 2 back-to-back 2-out singles here, as Chaffin has a chance to narrow the gap. Count is 1-1, and that will cause a coaching visit. A reminder about Ryan Chaffin. This is just the second time this year he's been in a game to hit. And coming into today, he was 0 for 1 with an RBI. So a chance to perhaps get a second RBI or more. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. First and second. And that is looped to second, but caught there at second by Rodriguez to end the bottom of the 8th inning. Now the Crusaders threaten, but nothing comes from it, as they get no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We have played 8 full innings here at Crusader Field. To the top of the 9th inning we go. as the Mountaineers will be coming up to bat right after this short pause in the action. Well, Colin Johnson now pitching for the Crusaders as he relieves George Clahane, who pitched pretty well in relief. 2 scoreless innings, allowing just 1 hit and 1 walk along with a strikeout.
Leading off the top of the ninth, the center fielder, number 12.
And so Dallas now turning to their best relief pitcher to keep this at a 3-run game and give the Crusaders the best chance of coming up with a rally in the bottom half of the ninth. 3 runs is still quite a lot to go in 1 inning, especially in a very pressure-packed bottom of the ninth. But that pitch is a strike, but having to do, I mean, 3 is going to definitely be tough enough. Having to do 4 or more would be incredibly hard. I mean, that is hit to right center field. That's down. That'll go all the way to the wall, and this should be a double, but going to third and in with a triple is Aiden Warren. As I was in the middle of saying, having to do more than 3 runs in an inning would just be I can't even think of a word to describe it. It would just be so incredibly difficult. It's not something that you would expect to happen pretty much ever. A 1 in 10,000 chance, maybe. Down 3 really isn't a whole lot better, but the fewer you have to do, the easier it is on yourself. And so after that leadoff triple, the Mountaineers, with nobody out, are threatening to extend their lead. Check swing. First base umpire says that he went. Gerardo Cardoza at the plate. 2 for 5 today with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Swing and a miss. And no, I guess that was fouled off. So 1-2 the count. Infield playing in for Dallas, trying to prevent any more runs from scoring, as that is looped into shallow left field. That is a base hit, and that will be an RBI for Cardoza. So
batting the right fielder.
Schreiner does make it a 4-run game. It's now 11-7 here in the top of the 9th inning. That is hit to left field. That's a base hit.
Now batting the first baseman, number 4, Joseph DiCarlo.
Now Joseph DiCarlo now up to the plate. 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, but also 2 strikeouts. As he hits that in the air to left center. Racing back, no one's going to get there. It'll one hop off of the wall. 1 run scores, throwing into third, and safe at third. The relay was in time, but getting around the tag is Cardoza. And so what I thought was going to be a pretty easy double and at least 1 run scoring, if not 2, ends up being a long single and a close play at third. But it's an RBI for DiCarlo, as the Mountaineers now have a 12-7 lead here in the top of the 9th inning. Now, Coach Grafton out to talk to Colin Johnson. And, well, that will now bring up Isaiah Hernandez, who is hitless today in 5 trips, but he does have an RBI.
Number 17, Isaiah Hernandez.
He has first and third with no one out. Pitch is a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. The 1-1. Fouled off at the plate, 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch is way outside, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch misses high and away, full count. And the 3-2 is hit high in the air to left. Saldana racing over towards the line as he's now in foul territory, making the catch. Easily scoring is Juarez from third. So a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Hernandez, as the Mountaineers now take a 13-7 lead.
Now batting the second baseman, number 9, AJ Rodriguez.
Well, 1 out now, and that hit him. As AJ Rodriguez will get a free base. And that will bring up Daniel Garza, who is 3 for 4 today. A run scored, 2 RBIs, a double, and a walk.
Daniel Garza.
And Coach Grafton coming out again. And that will be it for Colin Johnson. As number 19, Carlitos Nunez, will sub in for Johnson.
Now pitching for the Crusaders, number 19, Carlitos Nunez.
Well, Nunez making just his second appearance of the season. In his one and only appearance this year, he went 1 inning, allowing 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, a walk and a strikeout. That outing came back on March 12th against Hardin Simmons. So, about a month and a half since Nunez has pitched. We'll see how he responds today. Inheriting 2 men on base and 1 out, and a 6-run deficit in the top of the 9th inning. And so Garza now will step in. DeCarlo on second, Rodriguez on first. 1 out, and the first pitch is a ball inside. 1-0. The 1-0 is in there for a strike, 1-1. Nunez deals 1-1. Fouled away by Garza. A ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 is way high. Garza having to duck out of the way of that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. And that hit him. And that almost looked like it hit him in the neck.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 13, Adam Sanchez.
Well, that will now bring up Sanchez with the bases loaded. Sanchez 1 for 3 today. 1 run scored, 1 walk, and a strikeout. And a ball low. Count 1-0. The 1-0. Missed low again, 2-0. Nunez puts that one in there for a strike, 2-1. And the 2-1 is lined into left field. That's going to be caught in left field by Saldana. A run will score. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Sanchez as Schreiner now takes a 14-7 lead. So Saldana saving at least 1 run on that play, probably 2. And giving the Crusaders another out. As that now brings up Seth Joseph, who's 2 for 5 with an RBI. Count 2 balls and no strikes. And the 2-0 is hit to third, snagged by Davila, just tagged the bag himself for the force, and that will end the top of the 9th inning. Well, Schreiner picking up 4 runs this inning on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Crusaders coming up right after this short pause in the action.
Leading off the bottom of the 9th, number 30, David Lorenzo.
Well, to the bottom of the 9th inning we go. 6, 7, 8 batters coming up this inning for Dallas, and pinch hitting for Hannigan is David Laranjo, number 30. Laranjo this year batting .262, 11 hits and 42 at-bats, 14 runs scored, no homers, 6 RBIs, 10 walks, and 8 strikeouts. As he will be facing Luke Rogers. Ball inside 1-0. Schreiner 14-7 lead over Dallas. The 1-0 pitch is a strike, 1-1. Schreiner scored 2 runs back in the first inning, 6 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 4 in the top of the 9th. Dallas scoring all 7 of their runs in the bottom of the 7th. And that is our score, 14-7. 1-2 count to Laranjo. Pitch. That misses 2-2. The 2-2 pitch is bounced in there for a ball, 3-2. And the payoff pitch is hit up the middle and through into center field by Laranjo. So a leadoff single. As that will bring up David Saldana. David Saldana is 3 for 4 today with a run scored and an RBI. Breaking ball just misses inside. 1-0. Laranjo, short lead off of first. Pitch. Fouled at the plate. 1-1. The 1-1. Side, 2-1. The pitch is then fouled down the right field line. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 is popped up to shallow center. Coming in is Warren. He makes the catch for the out. And there is 1 away.
Now batting, the catcher, number 31, Nate Curtis.
Well, that will bring up Nate Curtis, who is 3 for 4 today with a double, a run scored and an RBI, and a strikeout. Pitches a ball, 1-0. Misses 2-0. And the 2-0 misses low. Count 3 balls and no strikes. And the pitch is in there for a strike. The 3-1 misses outside, ball 4. So that will now bring up Michael Anderson.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 2, Mike Anderson.
1 for 3 today with a run scored and a strikeout. as he has runners on first and second with 1 out. Pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 is grounded weakly towards first. Throw down to second for 1, and no throw. Now a throw over to third, but Laranja was there pretty easily. And so that will be a fielder's choice 3-6. And so the Crusaders now down to their last out, as Walker also Brooks will step in. 0-for-1 with a run scored, an RBI, and a walk. The pitch is in there for a strike. One ball, one strike. The 1-1 outside, 2-1. And the 2-1. That misses low. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Way outside, ball 4. So the Crusaders now at the bases loaded with 2 outs. And Fernando Davila will step up to the plate. A hit in 4 trips, a run scored, an RBI, a walk and a strikeout for Davila. First pitch is taken for a ball, 1-0. Now Rogers struggling a little bit to close this game out as he puts that one in there for a strike. 1-1. And that one's going to get away. Easily scoring from third is Laranjo as the other runners also move up a base. So a wild pitch and a run for Dallas, as the score is now 14-8. Count 2 balls and a strike. And Caleb Homan on deck for Dallas. The 2-1. Misses outside, 3-1. And the 3-1 is hit to short. This should do it. Fielded by Sanchez, throws across in time for the out, and that will end the ball game. Well, Schreiner in the first game of the series defeats the Crusaders by the score of 14-8. And so our final numbers. With the win, Schreiner improves their season record to 10-26, 5-13 in the SCAC. Dallas drops to 20-14 with the loss and 8-9 in the SCAC. Our winning pitcher is Fido Mendez. Mendez, with the win, improves to 4. And I should also give before I do any more, give the final lines for Rogers, Nunez, and Johnson. So the final line for Luke Rogers: 2 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout. And just 1 minute while I take a look at something. So Luke Rogers, 2 1/3 innings pitched, and I do believe he gets the save because he came in when it was 10-6, and Michael Anderson was the on-deck batter, and he would have been the tying run. So I do believe he gets the save. The final lines for Colin Johnson and Carlitos Nunez. Johnson pitched 1/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, a walk and no strikeouts. And Nunez, 2/3 of an innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. So back to our winning and losing pitchers. Fido Mendez, once again, the winning pitcher with a 4-4 season record now with the win. Adrian Montenegro with the loss now drops his season record to 7-2. And then Rogers with the save, and I believe that is his 3rd save of the season. And so finally, our power performance of the game. I believe for this one, our power performer is going to be Tyler Juarez, who went 4 for 5 today with a double. 2 runs, 2 RBIs, a walk, and no strikeouts. So congratulations, Tyler Juarez, our power performer of the game. And so that will do it for Game 1. Game 2 will start in 30 minutes or so, as we will be back in a little bit for Game 2 of our doubleheader and Game 2 of the series between Dallas and Schreiner. But before we go, one more reminder that you can stay current for all the teams across all of the sports of the SCAC and get all of your news, score, schedules, and standings at scacsports.com. For University of Dallas Crusader fans, you can get all of your University of Dallas sports information and statistics at udallasathletics.com. 14-7 once again was our final score. Excuse me, 14-8 was our final score. I'm Kevin McGurk here at John Paul II High School, and we'll be back in a little while for Game 2 between Dallas and Schreiner. We thank you so much for joining us for Game 1. We hope to see you back for Game 2. And so we'll be back in about 20 minutes or so. Thanks once again, and have a good rest of your day.